I miscount? I don't know. We're missing a person.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to call to order the Wednesday,
October 16, 2024, regular meeting of the Royal Oak Downtown Authority. At this time, we'll do public comment first. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Frank Hobrecht, and I own a couple buildings in the DDA. But I'm, first of all, I want my neighbor who lives in the 5th, who walks his little beagle every night, would ask for me to remind you that between 5th and 6th, 6 out of 12 street lamps are out. And his beagle walks in front of him. He says he has to carry his beagle across South Washington because people can't see the dog. Half the streetlights, it's a problem. The other day I was heading north on Washington, and there was a guy, he was already 10 feet into the pavement, and I caught him just I was maybe like 20 feet from him, away from him. You just don't see people without the streetlights. We need the streetlights to work. Okay. But I'm also here to say again that, and I'm very encouraged by the kind words that I received prior to the meeting, that our alley behind 408 South Washington, the Kretzky building, this is part of it. This is what we have as a surface, rocks and dirt. And I measured. The pavement that does not exist is about 20 feet wide, and it runs from our building to a Tessian's building next door. And it's the entire width of our building, about 120 feet. So we're talking roughly about 2,500, maybe 3,000 square feet. That's what's missing. When Baker College came in a couple of years ago, they put in their underground utilities and transformers. They took care of the bulk of the alley. For some reason, nobody decided to come all the way up. And I realized that the catch basin and the manhole needs to be raised. There's a gas line. There's some work that needs to be done for utilities. But we have no pavement, and we do not have access for anybody who's walking or with a walker or in a scooter or in a wheelchair off our back doors. I don't have it, and a Tessian doesn't have it for all of his properties. Trico Hair Salon, if you look out, they have 3 steps to get out of the building. If there was ever a fire in the front of their building and somebody needed to get out, it would be a problem. So I would appreciate any thoughts that we could have to resolve this thing permanently. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Seeing no one else, I will close public comment. Move on to the regular agenda. Approval of minutes, September 18, 2024.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Motion by Director Wallenweber. Second by Director Keith. Any discussion or changes to the minutes? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion passes. Expense items, monthly expenses. There's a list before you. Any questions for staff regarding these? Seeing none, okay, no action required. We will move on to business. Okay, item 5A, Map Me business map. Daniel?
Good afternoon. One feedback that we consistently receive from businesses, we've heard it here in public comment a couple times, is for the wayfinding signage to indicate where exact businesses in the district are. We did just resurface our wayfinding signage maps. However, a low-cost, easy solution to add this in without making it so we have to refabricate those signs every 6 months when businesses change is a software called Map Me for $1,188 a year. it provides the ability to create a digital map. So the QR code that is already featured on this map in the top left corner that says Find Downtown Businesses, they'd be able to scan this, and then we would have a map embedded on our website, which would allow them to find different retailers, food establishments, public art, up to 1,000 locations that we choose to put there for the Pro Plus package. And it would be a great trial year to where we can see if people are actually using it, and if it's not something being used or something that we find is not necessary in the future due to advances with ArcGIS or other software, then we could simply do away with it. Or something that is $1,100 a year for the sake of it pleases the businesses for their feedback, as well as provides visitors direct access to these are the businesses here and this is where to find them.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions regarding this? Yes, go right ahead.
Because I wasn't on the marketing committee, I probably have questions that were discussed during them. What other cities around here use this?
So downtown Brighton is one of the examples right here. An example of a different way of going about it, right next door in downtown Berkeley, they go with the process I indicated as what not to do. They fabricate and reprint the surfaces of their signs every 6 months to 12 months. And other than that, most other cities, their wayfinding is limited to what we do, which is public parking, city services, public art.
So in the case with Brighton or any other city, do we have a sense about use and frequency of use?
I don't know necessarily that we have a frequency of use. That benchmarking's not been done. I can find that out for the board if they'd like. But this felt like the option that was lowest cost as far as $1,100 for a year is kind of change in the bucket, as opposed to we just paid about $5,000 to resurface the signs for 1 year.
Yeah, no, I like the idea. I just want to know how, because it's easily changed, I just want to know if we have data that supports whether or not people are using it. I would think that people would use it. And then from a shopkeeper, store owner standpoint, like, are they able to go into it and maybe add, I don't know, like links to the business, or, come, today 10% off if you show that you use the app or something like that?
So that would not be able to happen with this. That would be more of an integrated app solution. So like even Yifty, if somebody wants to offer a deal for somebody to use downtown dollars, that's something they have to send me and I have to put it on the back end.
Got it.
This would allow up to 3 users, so we'd be able to have at least myself, the marketing person that's in process right now, as well as anybody in the future that we need to do updates to it.
Okay.
As far as business owners are concerned, it can be a little difficult to get them to share their hours of operation and different updates to their business. So this is hopefully a way to entice them to share that information more.
I think it's a good idea.
Good.
Kind of along those same lines, does it integrate to Yelp or anything of that nature? I'm just curious if they had easy integrations. I'm all for this, but I just was kind of curious if you recall.
I don't recall if this integrates straight to Yelp,
Or something along
but I
those
know
lines.
that it embeds easily into our website, which is not always the easiest thing with the web servicer that we use.
Yep.
And so the sense was something that already works with our website would be ideal, as opposed to having to come up with a whole nother web platform like we've done before for things like newsletter sign up.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, there is a suggested resolution before us. Director Duboc.
Yep, seems like low cost for potential high value. Give it a year, see if it's worth doing again. I'll move for approval.
Motion by Director Duboc, second by Director Leclerc. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And that motion passes. Okay, next item, Small Business Saturday. Daniel?
Just to keep the one solid presentation of business going. Small Business Saturday, so in my role, this will be my third one. The first year, we did the customary ornament that we always do. $25 purchase got you that. We had a convoluted way of getting free coffee. We did a passport program. We did a bunch of bells and whistles. Folks didn't take advantage of anything except for getting the ornament that year, and we had about 100 passports. Last year, we duplicated some of that, tried to make the coffee easier by just taking it into the store, getting a free coffee. Folks still did not take advantage of that. It seems as though they would like to get their own coffee on their own time. Feedback that we've gotten also from not only these passport programs, but our Shop Royal passport programs, folks start them and then do not finish them. It has not proved fruitful for us to sweeten the pot with $2,500 downtown dollars, different prize packages. Folks are just, it seems to be an across-the-board thing where retail events like shopping passports are falling out of style and folks just aren't doing them. So as a means to kind of simplify the process and to focus around one message, it's shifting Small Business Saturday to more of a spend gift, as they're called. You spend X amount of dollars, you get to choose between these gifts. You spend a little bit more, you choose between these. And that's laid out here in the memo, as well as some potential designs for things like the gloves, which were the all-time popular last year. Sticker sheets and holiday cards, which are a new idea, relatively low cost, but are things that could potentially be sent to family members in other states and have imagery from Royal Oak furthering the brand, as well as sticker sheets that can go to kids that have things like the Romy mascot or little cool sort of imagery from Royal Oak's Star Dream Fountain, Main Street, things of that sort. And then, of course, bringing back the ornaments, which are always popular, baseball caps and crew necks for those higher levels, things that folks are going to wear out and about, get the brand out there, as well as potentially things that could be gifted. As well as repurposing the Shop Royal bags. We do this intentionally my last couple years here, which is we purchase a little bit extra of those shopping bags just to make sure we have them in time, and then we use the extras for Small Business Saturday. The totes continue to be popular with the retailers, as well as we are going to be supplemented by some paper retail bags from the county through their local gem shopping program, as well as American Express is going to be sending us some neighborhood champion bags as well this year. All in all, this was a budgeted expense at $30,000 for this year. This budget comes in at little over $21,000 in a sense to hopefully bring down some of our event costs while also simplifying things. I will note, different from years past as well, I did not include anything in terms of free parking in the garages or validation at the garages. The validation has proved not fruitful as well. Our bill from Shop Royal was $70.
Okay. And are you asking us to choose the color and the ink on the ornaments tonight?
That would be ideal so that I can get them ordered after this meeting. I've laid out the different combinations there for you, basically between the black or the white ink and then 4 different color options. Historically, we've done white, black, last year's were light blue and lit up, and then I know that there's been one red one.
Who wants to start this discussion?
Yes, thank you for that question. You can only choose one just because ordering these, if we were to order more than one, then it brings the cost way up because we get the economies of scale.
Okay. Mr. Dubuc, start with you.
I don't feel strongly about this. We're trying to have a rationale. Like if people are collecting them, then probably a different color every year is good. So go when we done white on green. I propose white on green.
I second.
Okay, well, there's 2, any other discussion?
My vote would be for the gold one because I think it's agnostic.
Gotcha, okay.
The gold one better.
Wait, gold on white or gold
Gold
on
on
black?
white, I like the
Gold on white.
white on gold. Yeah, the white on gold.
I'm with that also.
Okay, does anybody else would like to put their 2 cents in?
I want to make a motion.
You already made,
Well, is that a motion, Kyle, for the green? Or was it just
I like it.
I make a motion that we trust our downtown manager to make a choice on the bump.
It did sound like the overall was the gold with the white.
Yeah.
We did hear some varying opinions.
This will knock 40
Trying to
minutes
be
off this meeting.
democratic about this. But it also sounds like we're going to pass the buck to you, Daniel.
White on gold it is.
Anybody have any objection to that?
No.
No objection? Okay. All right, so we have 2 suggested resolutions here.
Just one of your trusted me with the color. Because the
Yes,
second one was only focused on that.
okay. So we will skip the second resolution. The first resolution still needs to be dealt with.
I would so move to authorize the expenditure as outlined. It's below our budgeted amount anyways.
Okay, a motion by Director Wallenweber, second by Director Leclave. Further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion passes. Okay. Item C, various grants, the distribution of funds, I believe for 3 applicants.
Yes, all 3 of these folks have received facade grant approval from the board. We have received their paid receipts, as well as I've verified the work that was outlined in the grant packages, as well as the canceled check payments, just to ensure that the invoices were actually paid. All 3 of them have paid their bills, and all 3 qualify for disbursement if approved by the board.
Okay. There is actually 3 suggested resolutions. I think we can handle these all together.
Yep.
Motion?
Motion by Director Leclave,
Second.
second by Director Von Steen. Any discussion regarding this? Seeing none, call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And that motion passes. Okay, which moves us on to the 45-day review, Pride Royal Oak. Chuck?
Did everybody get one of the packets? Handed out?
Oh, here,
Everybody got it?
we can share.
I apologize if I cough, I'm a little under the weather. Okay, so we did Pride Royal Oak this year on October 26th and 27th, and we moved it, basically, it's a different group, so kind of the, what we were led to believe is that the support was really based upon moving it away from closing any streets on South Washington. So, so you saw that shift in the thing, the footprint. So we gave you a list of our committee. Everybody had specific duties. Everybody did a great job. We're really happy with the turnout, how the whole thing came out. This was the footprint that we did use. On the next page you can see. And this year was really a learning experience. We were, again, very happy. Everything went smooth. But we understand that, you know, certain things now would be better and could change. We had great like branding. We had the digital billboards, radio broadcast spots, Facebook, Instagram, posters all over town. So we were really pleased with the amount of advertising. We feel we reached about 1,728,968, which you can see on the next page, between the billboard, digital, the radio, Facebook, and the website traffic. And then just our earned media, we had live interviews on Click on Detroit. We got a lot of coverage from the Tribune, C&G, Patch, articles, Pride Source. Our estimated attendance was about almost 3,000 for Friday night, and about 6,500 roughly estimating for Saturday night, and we were very pleased to announce we had no major incidences with all of that. And the heavier traffic obviously was more in the evenings. We did have great acts all day long, so that's something we're going to focus on for next year, getting people out earlier in the day. Our revenues was $212,335. This was sponsorship of the $75,000 from the DDA. Our goal was to match that sponsorship from the DDA, which we did do, so we were very pleased about that. Made another almost $46,000 on tickets, and about $15,000 from our vendors for the vendor payments. So in our expenses, as you'll see on the next page, $204,582. And then you can see city services, $25,000. All our staging, logistics, $80,000. Entertainment was $82,000, and about $16,000 plus on marketing. We had a net profit then of $7,753, which we will then utilize towards the 2025 event, as we have to use a lot of the services we use, the staging and everything requires down payments. Then we have a list of who all our sponsors were. And then again, just looking back on how everything went, we really we think we could just move it to one day, which is kind of in line with what a lot of like Detroit or Ferndale or whatever has, they're more of one-day events, and just focus on that one day. I think that we could do a lot more. It would also help on our expenses, such as security and city expenses and parking expenses and all that. So we could save a lot of money on that and other labor and whatnot. So we could just get, that was a main thing that we all kind of discussed, just moving it to one day. I mean, we enjoyed doing the 2 days, but the amount of work and logistics for the farmers market and everything was a lot more work and expense. I mean, we still did well, but it was a lot. We'd like to continue the number of corporate sponsorship, expanding that, partnering with even more local businesses. A little bit of a snag we had this year was the SEP, getting that through in a timely manner. So there was a couple issues, just them being able to meet with us and going over all that. And so we really couldn't get it out there in front of everybody as quickly as we want. But right now, we're already working on the SEP for next year. So that should be go much easier. And so by adjusting the footprint slightly to include, it was a big learning experience this year. Again, we're very, very happy how it went, but now we know little tweaks and changes we can make to make it even better. So we're really excited, and our goal ultimately then would be, I know we already have a pledge for the 75 for 2025, but our goal would be we're going to be making more and more, and just to keep that, so we wouldn't be asking for as much from the DDA to help us do the event. That's our goal.
Okay, good. Okay, let's see if there's any questions here for Charlie regarding the event. Charlie, just one quick thing. It said here the Friday hours were 3 to 11?
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And then Saturday was 11 to 11?
Yeah.
And was entertainment provided pretty much utilizing all those hours, or?
Yeah, I think we started more at like 4, like everybody get in and, have a light opening kind of thing. So,
okay. Yeah,
but the majority of it was all those hours. And we were really proud of the entertainment. I mean, Gary did a great job booking a lot of fantastic acts. We had really good entertainment. So I think our focus when we're moving to one day is to getting that attendance up earlier in the day, because it can happen. They were fantastic. And then it was a challenge flipping the market. We did a good job. I mean, they were still busy. The farmers market turned out that it was still quite busy. But we had it all set up for a VIP area on Friday night that we then had to completely tear down. I think we were there until like 2 or 3 in the morning. So we had to completely tear that down and then rebuild it after the market again on Saturday. So there's just things like that we think we could utilize our time and energy and everything a little bit better, and finances.
But don't you kind of do that already?
I do.
I mean, like on Saturdays, because I know you host a lot of
we have
events at night, so you have to do a changeover every single time you have one of those events.
Yeah, we do.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
like we flip from Friday to Saturday night to Sunday, all the time.
Gotcha.
I have a
Okay.
great crew, I gotta say that, fantastic crew.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I was just going to indicate, there were a couple issues, one of which from a maintenance standpoint, taking down the sign after the event is over. I think it took several days for that. That needs to be addressed. The noise issue, I think, was addressed. I think I saw that there was a police response or something on that. But I also want to say, those are two just minor things to keep in mind for next year. But also, this was the first attempt to have a zero, I'm not going to say it right, use, or get rid of all the stuff in the right way afterward. And really,
Sustainability,
from
yeah.
that standpoint, I'm sure Angela would say success for the first time since she works in our office. But I think the goal to learn that, be able to write it up in the future so that we can tell other event or activities like this, these are some beginning attempts to do that. So I appreciate if you continue that too.
Absolutely, and honest, when we made this, we put that in the report, and I should have actually said that out loud because she was phenomenal. The event went phenomenal. We were going for zero waste event. So Angela, the sustainability manager for the city, was great on the zero waste, and we will continue. And actually, Mr. Witz, who I've known for years, came to the event and actually liked a few things that we did for that and incorporated them into Arts Beats Needs. So
Great.
we were, excited about that. So
Thanks for doing that.
yeah, we didn't use the plastic water bottles. We used the metal ones. We did a lot of neat things, and Angela worked very, very hard with her team and her volunteers.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? Mr. Twing?
Nothing.
Daniel? Good?
Nothing. Yep, all good.
Anybody want to bring anything to the board today? Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Director Yazbek's got something.
Is there a way to formally make a motion to go back to the agenda where you click instead of just scrolling ad infinitum, scrolling? So can we make a formal motion?
We'll figure it. This is for what we need, what we call technical assistance for us that are not as adept at these things. So, it means come 5 minutes early, we'll have someone here to help us.
It's very hard to
Each
get
of us.
less adept than I am, but just the
no.
clicking seems so convenient. I
Yeah.
don't know. Motion-
Okay,
motion to
well,
adjourn?
I think we had you heard. I already have a motion by Director Leclave,
Second.
second by Director Yazbek. Anything else? Seeing none? Call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes, and we are officially adjourned. What? Yeah, where they got that one from.
I couldn't even.